This is the math of war. Today's session concerns the concept of a no-reply zone, specifically a no-reply zone based on distance and range. Our scenario for this session poses a group of elf archers against a group of orc archers. We assume that elves and orcs are equivalent in every fighting dimension, except for the range of their bows. Isolating this one variable lets us more easily extract the principles to be discovered. Let's begin by assuming that an elf archer can effectively strike a target at a distance of up to about 200 meters. This range places the elf at the center of a circle with a radius of 200 meters, within which circle the elf can strike any target. Let's also say that an orc archer can effectively strike at a maximum distance of 100 meters, which establishes the radius for the orc's target circle. Prior to the engagement, both sides are out of range of each other such that neither side can strike the other side. But as the orcs and elves move closer to each other, the orcs eventually come into range of the elves' archers. At this point, the orcs are physically located inside the elves' target circle such that the elves can shoot the orcs with arrows. But notice that the orcs cannot yet shoot the elves because the elves are not inside the orcs' target circle. This situation is obviously very bad and potentially catastrophic for the orcs, since they will incur losses in their own ranks without being able to inflict any losses on the elves. The orcs will therefore either want to retreat and get back out of range of the elf archers, which would end the engagement altogether, or to close the gap between the two sides sufficiently to bring the elves into range of the orc archers. Once that gap has been closed, both sides are within the other side's target circle. The elves, however, having enjoyed greatly the opportunity to shoot without getting shot, will probably not willingly allow the orcs to close the gap, so the elves will withdraw if possible and thereby stay out of range of the orc archers. And as long as the elves have room to withdraw and the orcs keep moving forward, the elves will keep retreating in order to maintain the gap. They will continue this fighting retreat until they either run out of room, run out of arrows, or run out of orcs to shoot because all the orcs have already been shot. This scenario demonstrates the concept of a range no-reply zone. A range no-reply zone is a distance between adversaries at which distance one side's weapons can strike and the other side's weapons cannot. The term no-reply zone by itself refers generally to a situation in which one side can inflict losses without incurring losses. No-reply zones can be established in a number of different ways, but the one we are discussing today is specifically based on range and distance, so we can call this type a range no-reply zone to distinguish it from other types. Having recognized this concept, we can extract a decision-making tool or mental machine just as we do in other installments of the Math of War series. Here's how I would phrase the mental machine derived from today's work. Situating in a range no-reply zone enables the range superior side to strike with impunity. The elves, of course, represented the range superior side in our example, and the orcs played the role of the range inferior side. The implications for the range superior side are pretty straightforward. Get to the no-reply zone and stay there. The range superior side can pull this off by allowing or forcing their opponent to come close, but not too close. As long as the no-reply zone is maintained, and as long as the range superior side has time, resources, and patience, they can inflict unlimited losses on their adversary without taking any losses themselves. That's why a no-reply advantage is a sort of dream come true scenario for a battlefield commander. Meanwhile, the to-do list for the range inferior side is short and sweet and rather urgent. Once they find themselves in the no-reply zone, they can simply retreat, moving enough to escape the encounter altogether and live to fight another day. Perhaps by escaping from this engagement, they can buy themselves time to acquire weapons with a longer range, or simply wait until some fortuitous event, such as a strong wind, comes along to nullify the other side's range superiority. But if the range inferior side wishes to continue the engagement, then once they're in the no-reply zone, they need to charge ahead and close the gap between them and their opponents as quickly as possible, because the longer they stay in the no-reply zone, the worse their losses will be. Indeed, if the range inferior side stays in the no-reply zone long enough, they could be completely wiped out without inflicting any losses on the other side. We'll have to wait for another session to discuss additional implications of the mental machine we learned today, namely, that situating in a no-reply zone enables the range superior side to strike with impunity. But as always, I view the Math of War series as a perpetual work in progress, and it's always subject to revision and improvement. And I hope that those revisions and improvements will in fact come about. So I look forward to hearing from you and your comments, critiques, rebuttals, and suggestions in the comments section for this video. See you there, and bye for now.